Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and give you my thoughts on the new Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny TV spot. Now, full disclosure, if you are new to my channel, I am a big Harrison Ford fan. He's my favorite actor of all time, going all the way back to the early 80s, when I was in like nursery school and kindergarten, and I had these dark blue pants that had a red stripe down the side, and I used to call them my Han Solo pants. I was a huge fan of Star Wars and Indiana Jones and anything I could get my hands on that was Harrison Ford, I did. And so maybe there's a little bit of bias here, okay? But I am a huge Harrison Ford fan. And like many of us, of course, I was not particularly happy with Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. There's a few moments that weren't bad, but overall it was unsatisfying. And I think I speak for a lot of us Indiana Jones fans. And so, listen, if you're going to replace Spielberg with somebody, James Mangold is a pretty safe bet. It's a pretty good bet, right? So now that doesn't mean the movie's going to be good, but I'm not one of those people that's online creating multiple videos telling you that it is going to be shit. I don't know if it's going to be shit, and neither do they. So I like to be optimistic. I want it to be good. I'm pulling for it, and I hope it is, right? So this TV spot, it was only 30 seconds, I thought was, because of the energy of the TV spot, and we're like mid-stride in the Raiders March. You know what I mean? Like the TV spot begins and we're like, I mean, like we are like right into it. I found that was missing from the trailer that was released a couple of months ago. I thought the trailer was okay. There's a couple of things in there I wasn't too sure on. But overall, like anything was bad or anything. It was nostalgic, pulled on my heartstrings. But the Raiders March, I was like, it wasn't as punchy as I needed it to be, as it should have been. Well, it was firing on all cylinders here in this TV spot. And the de-aging technology, I mean, we got to see more of that in this TV spot. And it's incredible. It's scary and incredible. It's scary because, the technology exists to pin me at like the scene of a crime. Do you know what I mean? That's fucking scary. But at the same time, if it's used properly, in these kinds of situations only, the government's not going to do that. But I'm just saying, it's amazing. Like the technology is amazing. It looks like I'm watching Harrison Ford from 1980 or the 1980s. It's just so cool. So how long we're going to see that, what the context is, I don't know. But I thought the TV spot, the energy of the TV spot was exactly what you wanted it to be, was exactly where you wanted it to be. And now that they've hit this kind of energy, you need to carry this all the way through right to the release of the movie in June. So now I'm not somebody that is like, oh, it's probably going to be a time travel thing. I don't know what the big deal is about people that don't like time travel. Maybe it's because it hasn't been implemented properly in superhero movies or something. I don't know. But I think, I'm not saying it is, but when you have Dial of Destiny and all that kind of stuff, I'm okay with it. I mean, as long as everything is properly motivated and everything makes sense and things aren't shoehorned in for the hell of it, and it's a compelling, story with great performances, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? I mean, who cares? It's come on, right? But you're always going to have those people that no matter how good it is, they can't walk away from the movie telling you that because they've built their whole identity around trashing things. But anyway, but you know what? But again, I don't know if it's going to be good, but I'm pulling for it. And this is another perspective that I'm looking at this from is, again, this is it for one of the industry's legendary titans. Now, if you're younger, I'll be 44 in May. If you're a lot younger than me, like if you're in your teens or in your 20s, maybe you don't feel this way, that you're not, because you don't have the perspective. But there are very few bona fide movie stars left. It is an era that is long gone, really. There's a lot of celebrities, right? It's very easy to become a celebrity, especially in this day and age with social media. There's a celebrity for every fucking grain of sand on the beach. Do you know what I'm saying? But very few are real, genuine movie stars. And Harrison Ford is the Clark Gable, the Jimmy Stewart, the Humphrey Bogart of his generation, of my generation, maybe of your generation. And, even if the movie is okay, let's say it's not great, but it doesn't meet the expectations, but it's okay. It's all right. Even if it's not a 10 out of 10, you know what I mean? And it's a 6 out of 10 or, or what have you. Obviously, I'm hoping that it's more, but let's just say for the sake of argument, it's not bad. It's okay. Still to be able to go and see one of the last great movie stars from an era that is long gone, in the role that made him a movie star. Because remember, Han Solo made him a household name, but when he made Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1981, that propelled him into movie star stratosphere because it showed that he was bankable and marketable, not just in one franchise, but on his own as a leading man, and the rest is history. And to watch a movie in the movie theater, with Harrison Ford, one of the last great real movie stars from an era long gone, in a role that is one of the most iconic cinematic characters in the history of motion pictures. Yes, of course, I want the movie to be good. Of course, absolutely. And I don't want any excuses to be made if it's a pile of shit, right? But just to be able to see this man at 79 when he shot the movie, he's 80 now. He's going to be 81 in July. But to see him in that role, it's like watching. It's like watching Babe Ruth, one last time in the twilight years of his career. It's like watching Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what we're doing here. That's what's happening. And yes, we hope that the last game is good. Do you know what I mean? But obviously it's not going to be like Raiders or Temple or Last Crusade because that was 40 years ago and he's not 45 anymore. Do you know what I mean? So yes, obviously I get it. Yeah, we have to keep things in context, but just to see him there, and to see him throw a punch or throw that whip out or just in that outfit, it's like, this is it. This is it. One of the legendary great Titans one last time, because I do believe that this is the last time we are going to see him, certainly as Indiana Jones, but also in a real action-oriented role. I know that he is signed on to be in a Marvel film, but I'm talking about he is the leading man. He is the leading man in an action adventure movie where he's falling down, running and throwing punches. Do you know what I mean? This is it. This is it. And he's one of the Titans. He's one of the greats from an era long gone. So it's just, I don't think people realize how special this really is and how much this really actually means on a certain level. Do you know what I mean? I was too young, to appreciate, I think Humphrey Bogart and I got to find out when Humphrey Bogart, Clark Gable, and Jimmy Stewart all passed away. They may have passed away before I was born. I was born in 79. But certainly when I learned about them as a young boy and as a teenager, I didn't care. Yeah, they're old. I didn't care. But now as a 44-year-old man, almost, I look at that era and I recognize, the caliber of what they were in relation to the industry. Do you know what I mean? And this is what's happening here with the likes of Harrison Ford. He is one of those Titans. And to be able to see him in that role is really special. And I hope people realize how special this really is. Yes, we want the movie to be good. Yes, we don't want to be a dumpster fire. Absolutely. But let's just take a moment and appreciate the fact that we get to fucking see him, one of the legends, one of the greats, one of the last real movie stars, in the role that made him that. It's pretty fucking special. And I thought the TV spot was good. I enjoyed it. I'm sure there'll be another trailer as we get closer to the release of the movie, and maybe we'll get some more information on what the story is about. But so far, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm a little excited. I'm a little excited. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny big game spot. Super Bowl. God damn it. There's another fucking 10 grand. Let me know your thoughts below and what you think about anything I had to say here today. If you want to follow me on social media, you can. There are my links right there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All my links are in the description. Check them out until your heart's content. And when your heart is content, check them out again. That's going to do it for me. In the meantime and in between time, I will talk to you soon. Cheers.